Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how artificial intelligence actually gets made. And it's not some kind of magic. It's actually a structured process, a real blueprint that thinks an idea and makes it real. Let's walk through it.
So let's just get right to it, with the big question you've probably wondered about yourself. Past all the hype and the headlines, how does this stuff actually get built? How does a simple idea turn into a working AI model? That is exactly what we are going to break down today.
So here's the first thing you've got to get. Building AI isn't some chaotic lightning strike of genius. No, it follows a really clear, structured cycle. It's a blueprint, a repeatable process that guides a project from a basic question all the way to a powerful solution.
And here it is. This is that blueprint. These are the 5 core stages that really form the backbone of pretty much every single AI project. So think of this as our roadmap, right? We're going to go through problem scoping, data acquisition, data exploration, modeling, and then the big one, evaluation.
Okay, and just so you know where we're getting this from, we're using this document right here as our guide. It lays out the whole process, the learning outcomes for every single stage. So you can see we're following the official playbook. Let's dive into that first step.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts here with what's called problem scoping. Before anyone writes a single line of code, before you even think about data, you have to know what you're trying to do. It's like building a case. You have to clearly define the problem you're trying to solve. What does a win even look like?
And I really like how our source puts this. It's all about defining those goals and objectives from the very beginning. Because think about it. If you don't know your destination, sure, any road will get you somewhere, but probably not where you actually need to be. This first step is all about setting the GPS for the entire project.
Okay, so you've got your goal. Now what? Well, you need your raw materials. And in the world of AI, that means data. This next phase is actually a two-parter, and it is so critical, it can literally make or break the whole thing.
So you've got these 2 parts. First up is acquisition, which is pretty much what it sounds like, the hunt for information. But then comes exploration, and that's the real investigation. This is where you have to roll up your sleeves and really understand what you got. Are there weird biases in there? Any huge gaps? It's kind of like the difference between just having a box of evidence versus opening it up and realizing, whoa, half these pages are missing or they're in a totally different language.
And this right here just nails the core principle. Choosing the right data sources is everything. I mean, everything. Because the quality of your project will never be better than the quality of your data. It's that classic saying, right? Garbage in, garbage out. No amount of fancy modeling is going to fix a broken foundation.
All right, so we've got a clear problem. We've really dug into our data. Now comes the part that everybody thinks is the magic, right? Modeling. This is where we take all that data we prepared and we use it to actually build and train the AI. So what's really happening here? Well, it's all about picking the right machine learning algorithms. And honestly, the best way to think about an algorithm is like a recipe. Depending on your ingredients, that's your data. And the dish you want to make, that's your goal, you're going to choose a different recipe. The recipe for telling cats and dogs apart in photos is just completely different from one that tries to predict stock prices.
Okay, let's just pause for a second and see where we are. We've gone from a simple question to a fully built AI model. We defined the problem, we gathered and really understood the data, we applied the right algorithms. So we're done, right? Time to pack up? Well, not so fast.
See, all that hard work, all that careful planning, it has all been leading up to this moment. The final, and I would argue the most crucial stage of the entire cycle. This is the moment of truth.
This is it, the one question that really, truly matters more than anything else. After all the planning, all the data wrangling, and all that complex modeling, does the thing we built actually do the job we designed it for?
And that brings us to this final stage, which is called evaluation. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's the process of judging the model's performance against the specific goals we set all the way back in step 1.
And this is the whole point, right? Evaluation closes the loop. It connects the very end of the project straight back to the very beginning. This is the final verdict that tells us if all that effort was a success or if it was just a really, really interesting experiment. And look, to prove this isn't just me saying this, let's look back at the overall goal from our source material. See how it lists out all the stages we just covered? And there it is, right at the end, evaluation. It's not an optional extra. It's a fundamental part of the process.
Because success isn't just building a model. Success is building a model that works.
Which leaves us with one final, kind of nagging question, doesn't it? In that rush to be first, to launch the next big thing, this critical step, the AI's final exam, is so often the first thing to get rushed or skipped. So, if evaluation is the true measure of success, why does it so often become an afterthought? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.